Welcome back to the Mariana Dalto Show. I am going to share something that could completely transform how you think about your business. So here's a question for you. What if I told you that most business owners are completely wasting their time and money on things that don't actually build value? What if there were six specific areas where if you focus your investments, you could create a business that not only makes money, but becomes truly valuable, maybe even scalable. So today I'm going to be breaking down these six places every entrepreneur, every small business owner should be investing in their business right now. This is like something that really take the time and take notes. And stick around until the end because I'm going to share how you can get personalized guidance on implementing these strategies in your own business. Okay, let me start with the foundation, which is assets. So here's the truth that will change how you think about your business. Your assets equals the value of your business. It is that simple and it is that powerful. Most business owners are running around like hamsters on a wheel, spending their time on busy work that doesn't create the lasting value that you need for your business. And they are, maybe answering emails, putting out fires, doing things that feel productive, but don't actually build anything of lasting worth. So let's talk about what are those assets. Assets are completely different because these are the things that work for you even when you are not working. It's your intellectual property, and that would include your processes, your methodologies, your unique ways of doing things. It will be your content library, like every maybe blog, any post that you make, any video, any podcast episode that that you create, that everything that you create, it becomes an asset. So your technology platforms, your customer databases, your SOPs, which are standard operating procedures, your training materials, even your team itself become an asset when it's properly developed. So here's the test I want you to do right now. If you, let's say, disappear from your business tomorrow, I mean, completely vanished, what would still be working in your business? What will still be generating value? Those are your assets. And if the answer for you is not much, if I disappear from my business, there's not much going on, then you know exactly where you need to focus your attention. Let me give you an example from a business owner, and let's call her Sarah just to protect, names. So she has been in business for about 5 years. She was making decent money, let's say about 200,000 a year, but she was completely trapped. She worked about 70 hours a week, couldn't take a vacation without, everything falling apart. And she got sick. And if she will get sick, then her income will stop. So when her coach did an asset audit, they discovered that she built exactly zero transferable assets. Everything was in her head. She was the business. She literally spent 18 months after that systematically building assets because she realized that that was a big gap for her. So she started documenting all her processes, created the training systems. She started building her content library. She developed intellectual property around all her methods, everything that she was, that was part of her business. So what do you think was the result? Her business value, that her value tripled. But the important part here is she got her life back. She now takes month-long vacations and her business runs without her kind of micromanaging everything in her business. And remember, if you're building a business just to have a job, that you can quit, then you are doing it wrong. Assets are what transform a business from a prison into a wealth building machine. Now, let's move into the second investment area, which is people. But here's the catch, everyone misses. It's not about investing in just any people. It's about investing in the right people. I see this mistake, constantly. Entrepreneurs and business owners, they hire sometimes their friends because they trust them. They try to save employees who aren't performing because they feel guilty, but then they keep people around in their businesses who share maybe their vision, but they don't have the skills, or worse, people who have the skills but don't share their vision or their values. So here is what successful business owners understand than those business owners who struggle. You hire people for values first and skills second. So let me say that again. You will hire people. I know it's counterintuitive, but you want to hire people with values first and skills second. And the question is why? Because in today's world, especially with AI and technology advancing so fast, skills can be taught, but values who someone have at their core. So that's now something that you can teach. You can teach someone on a new software, a new system, but really you can't teach them to care about your customers the way you do. You can train someone on your processes, but you can't train them, to have integrity or work ethic. So here's something that might surprise you. The best people, the real A players, aren't necessarily motivated by the biggest paychecks. They're motivated by mission. They want to be part of something meaningful. They want to work for leaders who have a clear vision and strong values. When you get clear and very crystal clear on your mission and your values, something magical happens. That's why I always teach, like, you have to have that as the core for you, and that's kind of like the business fundamentals. Because if you don't have it for yourself, then how you're gonna transmit that to your teams and the people you're trying to hire, right? So you gotta be very clear first for yourself. Now, you start attracting people when you have that clear, then you will start attracting people who resonate with what you're building instead of just having to convince people to work for you. They really want to work for you because of who you are and what you represent for your business. So, here's an example from another business owner. He hired someone who was technically brilliant, but didn't share the business core values around customer service. So they constantly, cut corners, make clients feel unimportant, and creating more problems that they actually solved. In the meantime, he had passed on candidates who, the business owner, right, who might have needed some technical training but had the right heart and attitude, right? So this business owner hired more for skills than for attitude. So the cost of the wrong hire isn't just the salary, it's the opportunity cost of what the right person could be accomplished, the damage that the person can do with the team, the time you spend managing problems instead of growing your business. But what happens when you get the right people in place? It is like adding rocket fuel to your business. They don't just do their jobs, they make everything better. They come up with ideas you never would have thought of. And that's having a right hand next to you in your business. They solve problems before you even knew they existed, right? They become ambassadors for your brand, both to customers and to potential, team members. So this is super important, the team piece. The number three investment is technology and systems. And I want you to remember this equation. Technology equals freedom. So let me paint you a picture of two different business owners so then you get an understanding of what I'm talking about. We have business owner A now. So he this business owner wakes up at 5 in the morning, checks emails, spends the day putting out fires, answering the same questions over and over again. They manually process orders. They personally handle every single customer issue. They collapse into bed at 11 p.m., exhausted, only to wake up the next day and do it all over again. Okay, now let me get you to give you the example of business owner B. This one gets up when they want, checks their dashboards to see how the systems perform overnight, review reports that were automatically generated by the systems, and spend their day on high-level strategy and growth activities. They both have same revenue, but a completely different life. So what's the difference here? Business owner B understood something that it was crucial. If you don't have systems in your business, you become the system. And that's what was happening with business owner A. And when you become the system, you become the bottleneck in your business. And this isn't just about having the latest software, though that's kind of part of it, to be honest, but it's about creating systems for everything. And how do you, one of the things that could be, how do you onboard, new customers? Then you will have a system for that. Then how do you handle customer service inquiries? Then you have another system for that. How do you process payments, deliver your products or services, follow up with prospects? System, system, system. Okay? And with AI technology and advancing as rapidly as you can see, there's no excuse for doing everything manually when things can totally be automated. Okay? So customer service chatbots can handle about 80% of inquiries. Email sequences can nurture prospect automatically. Project management tools can keep everyone aligned without constant meetings, which is a huge saver. But here's what most people miss. Systems aren't just about efficiency, they're about consistency too. When you have good systems in place, your customers get the same high quality experience every time. Your team knows exactly what to do in any situation. So that constant is so important as well. Your business can run without your constant input, which that's what you're trying to get out of having a system in place. I remember a consultant who was brilliant at what he did, but he was totally, completely overwhelmed. He personally was involved in every client interaction, every proposal, every delivery. He couldn't scale because there was only so many hours in a day to do all that stuff. So he started to systemize everything. So he worked, systemizing templates for proposals. He built automated sequences for client onboarding, developed training materials so the other team members could deliver his methodology. Within 6 months, he had tripled his capacity without working more hours. The systems gave him the life back, right, while improving the client experience because he was consistent. The goal isn't just to, remove the human touch from your business. That's not what I'm talking about. It's to free yourself up to focus on the things that actually require your unique talents and the expertise. That's the main goal about leveraging systems, getting the time back to use it for high level activities. Now, the fourth one is about relationships. And this is where I see a huge difference between entrepreneurs, business owners who struggle, and those who really thrive. So many business owners, especially those coming from corporate environments, have what I call the lone wolf mentality. They think success means doing everything themselves, being self-sufficient, not needing anyone else. But that is not how a business actually works. Successful entrepreneurs and business owners understand that business, is an ecosystem. It's not just about you and your customers, it's about building a web of mutually beneficial relationships that support and amplify your success. Think about this. Relationships with customers, yes, that's one of those. But also, it's not just relationship with customers, it's relationship with your vendors who can give you maybe better terms, a priority service. You can build relationships with other business owners who can refer clients to you. You can build relationships with media contacts who can um, feature your story in in the media, relationships with technology platforms that can promote your business, um, relationship with industry experts who can advise you. Here's the mindset shift that changed everything for me, and this is something that I would like to share. Don't focus on having customers, focus on building relationships. When you treat every customer interaction as a relationship building rather than a transaction, everything changes. So instead of thinking, how can I get this person to buy from me? Start thinking, how can I serve this person so well that they become a raving fan who refers others to me because they really value what I offer and really got a lot of value from it as well. So instead of seeing a one-time sale, see it as a lifetime relationship. But relationships extend far beyond customers, okay? Some of my biggest breakthroughs came through relationships with other entrepreneurs. It could be joint ventures, referral partnerships, collaboration projects. These all happen because I invested the time in building genuine relationships. And that's kind of like the basis of it, right? And that's how everything starts. So the strongest businesses aren't built in isolation. They're built through networks of relationships where everyone wins. When you approach, your business with this genuine desire to help others succeed, they naturally want to help you succeed as well. That is kind of like the law of reciprocity. Okay, let's move into number 5, who might surprise you, which is advisors and mentors. So here is the mistake most business owners make. They think, I will get a mentor later when I can afford it, when I'm more established. That is completely backward thinking. The statistics on this are mind blowing. So let me give you some of those. So companies that use advisors and mentors see an average of $8 return for every $1 they invested. Some studies show returns as high as 529%. So where else can you get that kind of return on investment? But it's not just about the money, actually. Mentors save you the most precious resource, which is time. They've been already where you want to go. They've made the mistakes you are probably about to make. They can see the pitfalls that you can't really see and the opportunities that you're missing. So let me share a story that illustrates this perfectly. Early in my business, I was struggling with a particular challenge. I spent months trying to figure it out on my own, reading books, watching training videos, trying different approaches. I was making some progress, but it was so slow and frustrating. Finally, I swallowed my pride and I reached out to someone who had, already solved these exact problems that I had back then. So in a 30-minute conversation, this person gave me the solution that saved me probably about 6 months of trial and error. That conversation was worth more than any course I, ever taken. So what I'm trying to say here is like mentors don't give you just answers. They push you out of your comfort zone. You can't watching a video or training videos on YouTube is not gonna get you there. It's like having someone who can see your mindset, who can hear you, who can understand the possibilities that you can see for yourself. They hold you accountable also to your own goals. And then, so then you stop making excuses why you haven't done X, Y, or Z in your business. A great mentor helps you access more of your potential. They help you see that what you think is your limit is just the edge of your comfort zone. The key is finding the right mentors. And that's where it also gets tricky because there's so many people that can help you, right? But people who have achieved what you want to achieve, who can transfer their knowledge effectively, who understand both business strategy and human psychology, and who are genuinely invested in your success, those are the mentors that you want on your side. So just think about this. If you are trying to move faster and you're kind of getting stuck and not seeing the growth in your business, maybe it's time for you to find a mentor. The sixth area is your strategic mindset. And this is around these investments, and this could be even the most important of all for you. So there's how do I say this? There are two ways to live. You can say you can live by design or you can live by default. Most people live by default. They react to whatever happens to them. They follow the path of the least resistance. They let circumstances dictate their choices. But entrepreneurs and business owners who build truly valuable businesses live by design. And they make intentional choices about where to invest their time, their money, and their energy. They think strategically about what will create the most value long term, even if it's not the easiest, path or short term. So these six investment areas, the one that I talked to you today, which are assets, people, technology, relationships, mentors, and mindset, these aren't just business strategies. They are literally the blueprint for designing the business and life you actually want. The world needs more entrepreneurs and business owners who think this way, who build businesses that create real value, that solve important problems, that make a positive impact in the world. Every day you wait to maybe invest strategically in any of these areas is another day of a missed opportunity for you and your business. It's a missed growth in your business. It's a missed impact. So now here's where this gets personal for you. I have shared these six investment areas, but here's what I know. Knowing what to do and actually implementing it are two different things. You might be listening to this thinking, this all sounds great, Mariana, but where do I even start? And I know this is very common. Which area should I really focus first? How do I know if I'm doing things right? That's exactly why I like to offer, to business owners and entrepreneurs a strategy call, just to really go. Well, first of all, I offer that just for those who are really serious about building and growing their valuable business. This is kind of like you gotta have a business running, but you are somehow stuck or you're just not finding the right way to scale. So in these calls, we will look into your specific situation and identify which of these six areas could give you the biggest return on investment right now. So we will create a clear roadmap for the next 90 days, and I will show you exactly how to start building that real value in your business. And these aren't just sales calls at all. They're really strategy sessions. So my goal is to give you as much value as I can in 30 minutes that you can have clear next step for what to do in the next 90 days, regardless whether we work together or not after those 30 minutes. If you are ready to stop spinning your wheels and start building a business that really works without you, I really want to talk to you. I want to help you. I want to see how we can make a difference on how you're spending your time and energy in your business. So if you're ready for, thinking differently and trying to find a better way to grow, then go to my website, which is marianadalto.com, and go and schedule your complimentary strategy call. And I have limited spots. I don't have enough time for a lot of calls. So then I open some spots for people that they're serious about trying to move their business forward. So go ahead. If you are one of those people, feel free to um, schedule a call and don't wait until tomorrow. Remember, yesterday you say you would do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow never comes. So the opportunity you're missing every day compounds into missed years. You your business, you are valuable, your business is valuable, and it's waiting for you to build it and to grow it. Okay, so the question for you is, are you ready to grow your business? Thanks again for listening to the Mariana Dalto Show. I hope this episode was helpful for you, and I will see you next week. Thanks.